Our next speaker is Eunice Chan. Some of you I remember, Eunice was our president for a few years back, and she has been a senior sales manager with the luxury home Toll Brothers for many years, probably decades. Eunice has sold single-family homes, townhomes, condos in San Ramon, Danville, Sunnyvale, San Jose, and Fremont, and with pricing ranging from 800,000 to 3.5 million. Eunice has been very busy selling the 600 condos at Metro Crossing. It's in Fremont, right by the BART station. Extremely experienced in the new home business, and we're glad that she can join us today to tell us what she's doing in her market. So let me turn the mic over to Eunice right now. Eunice, I believe you're still on mute.
Eunice, make sure you unmute yourself before you speak. And then Maddie and Wilson, if you don't mind muting as well.
I did.
Okay, I got it. Okay. Hi, everyone. So just want to say hi and let you know that we have a lot of good information from Yuan about the commercial retail and also from Maddie about all the resale in residential. These are a lot of good information that everybody should know if you're in the business of real estate. But another factor that, in the real estate world is new homes. New home actually is a major contribution to the inventory of all the real estate that eventually becomes, available for sale and for eventually people to look at the alternative for resale. So this is what I'm kind of observing from, what the trends are and what we are seeing with the COVID-19, happening right now. So I have prepared a couple of charts. So the first one, okay, not happening. All right. The first chart here basically is a chart that shows you from year to year, and it's biannually what's happening to the supply side. So new home basically shows you how many homes are being built on, a yearly basis, so you can see what the patterns are. The blue bars represent single-family home starts up, and the orange bar represent multifamily, meaning condos and townhomes. So from April of 15, when they started this analysis, you can see that, single-family home was actually lower comparatively to the multifamily starts. However, as, the year goes by, there is a shift in increasing number of single-family homes in comparison to the multifamily construction. Especially if you look at the October 17 to the October 18, there's a big spike in the number of single-family home starts compared to the multifamily. And there's a couple of reasons why. And this chart is only representing California, so we're just focusing on talking about California. So the reason that we are seeing more single-family starts in the last couple of years is that there is a higher demand for jobs, in the Silicon Valley and a lot of other California cities. And so people had good income, and most of them had very high and strong income to support a purchase. So with that, there is, when people have the money and the financial ability, single-family homes are usually their first choice. We also see that there is a boom in the millennium because these, third generations or the millenniums are starting their families now. They're in their early 30s, and most of them are getting married and having their first kids, and they're looking for schools, looking for a bigger home so they can start their new family. So that's why you can see that there is a spike in the startup of single-family homes. However, if you see the orange bar of the multifamily, it has been pretty consistently, going from one year to another, just because, there is, definitely a higher demand for the a little bit lower, price point where the townhomes and condos will offer. And then here, the next chart, I'm not getting to the next chart. Michelle, do you have control, or because I'm not getting a control?
I think that's you controlling it right now. Here, try again. Perfect.
Okay, all right. Oops, and I put it fast. All right, so this chart here is also a historical, revelation of how you see the trend. So when you look at the blue chart, which again represents a single family home, the ups and downs from year to year has been dramatically, due to the economic up and down turn. So the most recent one obviously is the 2008, where you see a big dip from the previous years of over 150,000 number of new construction all the way down to under 30,000 units in the 2008 and 2009 downturn. And you can see that now the trend is picking up. It's slowly climbing, but as you can see, this is a cautious climb instead of the spike in the previous year prior to the 2008 crisis. So I think when you look at this chart, you can see that we're in a very healthy growth. It's not like those crazy, kind of speculations where investors jump in, try to snatch up everything. There is a very cautious, calculated planning of a lot of the buyers that are coming into the market. So we're not in any crisis right now. I don't anticipate much of the same repeat of a bubble bursting in the real estate market, just because if you see this chart, we're, in a very, safe and even trend of uptick. And the uptick is always good because real estate is always going to be your good investment compared to stock market, which is even more volatile. And so this is what I'm seeing in terms of the trend. And then how do we see the new home development? So usually the new home development is affected by several items. So state-initiated legislative effort, it's encouraging low and mid-tier housing stocks. And that's focusing on multifamily constructions in the recent years. And the reason why is because single-family homes are getting very, very expensive, up to a point where a lot of people are not able to afford single-family homes. And also states, especially in California, are encouraging, transit corridor developments of residential, because as you can imagine, all the freeways are already, jam-packed. Even now, after the COVID-19 had start releasing some of their restrictions, the freeways are packed again, like Freeway 680, Freeway 880, 101. Those major, arteries are all being, jammed up. So for people to try to, look for homes, the transit corridors are one of the, encouragement by the state to build. So such as my project in Fremont, we're right across from the BART station, right across from the Warm Spring BART station. And in Milpitas, which the BART station just opened up in the Great Mall area, there's tons of new developments on condos and townhomes in that area. So the whole idea of the state to develop, multifamily in those areas is to encourage people to take public transportation. And therefore, that's where the focus is on from the state initiation. However, having said that, the shift now with the COVID-19 has kind of pulled that back somewhat. Well, as you can all see, social distancing, and then also banks are getting a little concerned about what's happening in the economy. They're also tightening up their line of credits for builders to get construction loans. They're all pulling back. So we're seeing a little bit of a holding pattern for builders to construct in 2020. And, but also from the buyer's perspective, there is also a shift in the demand from the high density of condos and townhomes to suburban single families because now with the social distancing, they want more space. They don't want to be in a crowded building with multiple other neighbors. So they are moving away from the Bay Area just to be able to get some space and, you know, also because they're now able to work from home, therefore there's a shift now. So therefore, with that also said that we're going to see a pullback from the construction in 2020, which is going to trigger into 2021 for the supply of condos and townhomes, and maybe an uptake of the single-family homes construction. So the reason why builders always have to look at many different purposes and reasons and what's happening in the economy for them to make a decision to purchase land and also to build. So first they have to analyze what's existing in the home market right now. What's selling, what's not selling, how fast are the pace. There's a term in new homes, the pace of sales. So we have projections every year, and if we meet projection, that means we're doing the right, you know, amount of sales. However, if the pace of is not catching up to our projection, then we're going to slow down on picking up more new land deals because they're concerned if this is not, you know, selling fast enough, then we're going to build up the inventory, and that means, you know, money being tied up. And then also the end user demand. We also have to look at where end users are going, meaning the buyers. So such as what we were starting with, like the demand for single higher, but then states are encouraging the multifamily home in transit corridor. All these are factors what it's going to impact where the builder is going to look for opportunities to purchase land and to build and the type of building that they're going to do. And then another thing is the employment. So obviously, wherever employment is, housing is going to follow because the builders want to make sure that there is a sufficient demand of housing close to employment. So when Google announced that they're going to come to San Jose, you can see a hike or spike in suddenly all these high rises that are going up in downtown area because that's where the Google campus is going to expand. So with that said, however, builders also have a lot of concerns of what they need to do to make those decisions on their future purchases. So some of the items are because the building costs are going up. Reason is because for the new building code requirement, a lot more new energy efficient features are required. So for example, solar panels are going to be started to be required for all new constructions in this coming year, 2020 and 2021 and going forward. And then there's other, you know, energy efficiency that has already been requested a few years back. Construction material costs are also going up because of the tariff war with China, such as steel, a lot of other metals that we required. I think the builders have already kind of like positioned themselves to look for other sources of the material. However, because of the tariff war, there is just a surge in material costs all over. So it doesn't matter where the material costs materials are coming, the cost across the board has been going up just because there is all these, you know, tariff situation going with Europe and China. And land costs from local landowners are also, you know, standing very firm, and some are actually going up in their price because they feel like Silicon Valley especially, it's in the prime location. And when it comes to real estate, everybody knows that it's location, location, and location. So when a landowner see that they're sitting in a location where it's going to be in a high demand area for residential or commercial, they're not going to back down on their land costs. So land cost is one of the major factor in the building cost calculation. So if it doesn't pencil out, then the builder is not going to jump in even if it's in a prime location. Just to give you a very, you know, kind of obvious example, Toll Brothers purchased a piece of land in Sunnyvale 10 years ago, and we bought it and then developed it, and it was very successful in about 2010 to 2012. At that time, Sunnyvale was just starting to catch up to some of the Silicon Valley areas such as Mountain View and Cupertino. So about 7 years ago, the same piece of land, the same size of land, right adjacent to this piece that we bought, went for sale for 3 times the cost of what we bought 10 years ago. So just imagine the same size of land is now, much higher. So with all these other costs involved, that's pushing purchase price going up, and also, builders having very, very difficult time making their number work because all these are cutting into their profits and margins. And another increasing concern is that BMR, meaning below market rate requirements in new development, is increasing across the board for all cities. A lot of the Bay Area cities are looking for ways to offer affordable housing. So below market rate means that every developer had to provide a minimum of 10 or now going up to 15% of their new development to be those BMR units. And those BMR units have to be sold at potentially almost like a quarter of the market price sometimes, and therefore they are not going to be, bringing in any profit to the builder. So that means they have to factor in 10 or 15% of the cost of the construction to be given to these below market rates. And so as I mentioned, it used to be 10% for most cities, and now that requirement is going up to 15%. So when the builder, again, calculate this number and requirement into their development costs, all these are, again, chipping into what their numbers are, and it's getting it very, very difficult to make the numbers work. However, there are some positives in the market. So even though there are challenges, the builders are still looking for opportunities. And the reason why is that specifically in the Bay Area, the employment in the technology sector is still very, very strong. Even though we have been hearing about some layoffs and some concerns about, companies, cutting down or, giving people, a chance to move on to other businesses. The point is that the employment in our technology sector is still going strong. And I have mentioned this, that the millennium boom is ready for the new home, the very first home most of the time, because they're at an age where now they have a steady job, they're starting the family, they're having the first baby, and so they're looking for their first home to purchase. Because as Maddie had mentioned previously, there are some tax benefits for owning a home versus renting. And as we all know, rents are going high in the area still, while interest rate now is at record low. So we are still seeing a lot of first-time buyers taking advantage of the low interest rate and going in and purchasing their first home. But with the shift of the COVID-19, which we have all mentioned, the working from home is going to be the new normal. And that means that a lot of the buyers now are looking for a potential to have a home office, meaning that we have seen that some people that are coming into the market looking for maybe a smaller home initially, like just for a 2-bedroom condo, now all of a sudden say, no, I need an extra room because that extra room is going to be my office. And excuse me, hang on one quick second. Okay. Sorry, try this. Okay, so the work from home is encouraging the need for extra room where the home office will be their place to work for a very long time. So now we're seeing more of the need for a bigger home. And also the work from home means that less commute is required as more and more companies are telling their workers to just stay home and work. So that means that now buyers shifting to suburban areas, such as further away in Livermore, Dublin, Mountain House, and even all the way up to Sacramento. And I've been hearing that some buyers are considering moving out of state if their corporation actually have out of state campuses. I'm hearing like Nevada, Arizona, some of the areas that are seeing a boom because people now can afford cheaper housing because they are just going to be able to just work from home for a longer duration. So those are the shifts because of this new normal, provided that this might be going on for a while for all the office workers. So this is what's the trend right now. But then we don't know when COVID-19 is all over and the vaccine is going to be available again. You know, maybe people would change their mind and say, no, I still want to go into the office and be able to have interactions with our coworkers. And there are still a lot of businesses that needs to be physically in the office and other businesses that just have to be available for their local tenants and clients. Okay. Oops. All right. So
Is that the end of your presentation, Eunice?
no, there's one more.
Oh, okay.
I'm not able to get to it.
Okay, I'll help you. Is this it?
Okay. No, the next one.
This one?
Yes, there you go. Okay, so having said that, as real estate professionals, I just want to give you some tools that you can use, you know, when you're having buyers that are thinking a little bit more about, well, maybe it's better to also consider new homes. Therefore, you know, there is a need for, yes, okay. So there is a need for a lot of real estate professionals to understand the difference between resale versus new homes. And one of the major things that we can see is that the ability to customize their home is very important for a lot of the millennials. They like, you know, things that are more contemporary instead of the older, you know, homes that you have to spend a lot of money to remodel. So the fact that builders usually offer them the opportunity to go to the design studio so they can actually choose their countertops, the cabinets, the floorings, and even color of the paint. And some builders also offer structural, you know, options where they can convert a room into an office, or, you know, adding a covered patio to the backyard, things that normally could be done during construction. So that's been some of the things that people have been really excited about. Contemporary style and design of the new homes are because most modern lifestyles are looking for open floor plans. So, you know, with most of the new homes now, instead of having a formal dining room, a formal living room, and, you know, and then a separate family room, now it's all going to be just a great room concept where everything is one big area. And then there's an open kitchen with a huge island where people can just gather and have, you know, gatherings, you know, with their family. Another thing is the little maintenance and the ability to take advantage of the builder's warranty. So with new homes, because all the appliances are brand new, the plumbing is new, appliances are new, the ventilation, air conditioning, heating is all brand new. So there's a little, you know, need for the busy buyers nowadays to have to worry about fixing anything in their home. And also the warranty provided by the builder will give them a peace of mind that they don't have to deal with it themselves. They can just call the warranty department and the builder will send a customer service rep to help them with whatever issues that they're dealing with in their brand new home. And then also, I think one of the major things that people are now more focused on is to be the first person to live in that brand new home. Just like a new car, that new car smell, people are looking for that. And right now, if they know that no one had lived in this home before, especially with COVID-19, they feel safe. They feel like, okay, well, I'm the first person to move into this home, so I don't have to worry about if there's any, you know, virus lingering in the walls. Have the carpet been, you know, dirty, and if there are any smell from cigarettes or pads and anything. So everything is going to be brand new. Energy efficiency and code-friendly housing standards is also, as I mentioned, from the new building code requirement. So all the windows are now dual pane windows or energy saving windows. Air conditioning units are more efficient. All the kitchen appliances are mostly Energy Star appliances. Solar, as I mentioned, is going to be the new requirement in 2020 and forward. So insulation are now improved to where the home will be almost airtight. So all this is going to improve on how the new construction will provide a more, energy efficient home for the new home buyers. Another thing is the technology. A lot of people are installing like Ring and other, type of technology into their home to make it a smart home. With new construction, we are also offering them the options to add extra wiring and, all these smart features and internet cables to their new construction homes. So that way, then they don't have to drill holes or run wires that are being exposed or, not able to improve their smart home features. So those are all elements that if you are in the real estate business, be able to use to convince people that, buying new homes give them all these advantages. And then another thing for during this COVID-19 period, a lot of the new home builders are taking a lot of precaution when it comes to offering appointments. So instead of people just walking into our office now, we all require appointments only. That means that when people are interested in coming for a tour, they have to set an appointment. And so every appointment is going to be a private one-on-one tour, so they don't have to worry about the social distancing. We give them that personal, time, and everybody will be given the ability to ask more questions and having more time with the salesperson. And we also offer virtual tours that they will be able to search online even before they come in. So for some people that are not comfortable coming into the office, we are also offering them virtual tours. And after every visit, we are required to sanitize the area that they have visited, so we can make sure that, safety factor is being considered. So we're taking a lot of precaution in new homes, but yet we still see an uptick in the demand for purchase. So like Toll Brothers just have released our earnings last week, and there is a 13% increase in the new deposit compared to last year, the same period of time. So therefore, just to give you an assurance that real estate in this area is still going strong, and there's still a good demand for houses, especially in our area. So I hope I kind of give you a little, synopsis of new home sales, and I'll be, happy to share more if we have questions later. Thank you, Michelle.
Thank you so much, Eunice.